We come on the air. WikiLeaks founder has been arrested and a major spring blizzard affecting millions. That life-threatening storm stretching across 22 states. Heavy snow and whiteout conditions sending cars skidding off roads. Strong winds blowing over the semi. Thunder snow pounding down. Cities paralyzed. The National Guard called in. Hundreds of flights already canceled. Our team on the ground tracking it all.
Breaking news as we come on the air. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange arrested. Will he be sent to the U.S. to face charges? We're live in London with the latest.
Breaking overnight. The son of a sheriff's deputy now arrested, accused of lighting those fires at historically black churches across Louisiana.
Also overnight, a plane forced to make an emergency landing after hitting an object on the runway at JFK, taking a chunk out of the wing.
Found alive. How rescuers and helicopter crews finally located these hikers missing nearly 5 days. What they say saved their lives.
Or a few drops of blood.
The dropout now getting the scripted treatment. And the announcement this morning how SNL star Kate McKinnon is taking on the role of embattled Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes.
And clean getaway? Police responding to a 911 call with guns drawn, expecting a burglary suspect.
Come out here, you're gonna get bit.
But you'll never believe what was waiting behind that door.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
And it is great to have you with us on this very busy Thursday morning. That major spring blizzard is hitting right now.
There's up to 2 feet of snow burying some areas. And take a live look at Denver. The storm shutting down parts of a major interstate this morning.
Ginger's going to bring us all the latest on that. But first, that breaking news. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange arrested in London. After 7 years of asylum in the Ecuadorian embassy, the Ecuadorian government released Assange to British authorities, and he could now face charges in the U.S. ABC's David Wright starts us off from London. Good morning, David.
Good morning, George. Dramatic developments here in London. Julian Assange arrested here at the Ecuadorian embassy. He's been holed up inside that building for 7 years. Assange, of course, is the founder of WikiLeaks, wanted in connection with the release of thousands of classified documents over WikiLeaks, including the documents stolen by Chelsea Manning concerning U.S. activities during the Iraq and Afghan wars. Also, more recently, WikiLeaks was the conduit for stolen emails stolen from the Democrats, including Hillary Clinton's campaign manager, by the Russians in an effort to influence the 2016 election in favor of Donald Trump. Assange sought asylum here at the Ecuadorian embassy in London. He was even granted Ecuadorian citizenship a number of years ago, but there's been a change of government in Ecuador. The new president, friendlier to the U.S., and in the end, today, after 7 years, he invited British authorities in to arrest Assange.
And you saw Assange resisting there. WikiLeaks has already put out a tweet saying his rights must be protected, and that's being echoed by the Kremlin.
That's right. Vladimir Putin put out a statement this morning urging that Julian Assange's rights be observed during the criminal proceedings that followed. Shortly after his arrest, Dmitry Peskov said that he told reporters that he wouldn't comment on the overall case. The British Foreign Secretary has put out his own statement this morning saying that the rights will be protected as this proceeding goes forward, but that it is right for him to face justice.
And he could be facing justice here in the United States. A sealed indictment related to those WikiLeaks release of classified information. Assange's lawyer has already said he was arrested for that extradition request. So the big question now, will he be sent to the U.S.?
Well, the British, of course, do have an extradition treaty with the U.S., but one big question that they will wrestle with is the death penalty. The U.S. has the death penalty. The British do not. It will be a matter decided in court whether they believe that he would be subject to the death penalty if he were sent to the U.S., and that could, George, be a barrier to his extradition.
No word yet from the Justice Department. David Wright, thanks very much. Michael?
All right, thank you, George. And now to that monster blizzard that's hitting right now. The threat stretching across 22 states, and our team is spread out across the storm zone. Ginger's going to start us off with the latest on the track and the timing. Good morning, Ginger.
Michael, we are in the heart of this blizzard happening now, and you can see highways already shut down. This is Interstate 35 in Faribault, Minnesota, just south of Minneapolis. Shut down for a time because of so many accidents. But let's go ahead and look at how big this is. It's impacting folks from Colorado to Pennsylvania and New York, but the heart of it again, where those blizzard warnings from South Dakota into Nebraska, parts of Kansas and Minnesota, even northeastern Colorado still. We've got hours left. I'm talking about nearly 24 hours to go with this storm, but it's also wind, not just in the blizzard area, but from Iowa down to Mississippi and Alabama. We'll be talking about up to 50-mile-per-hour winds and storms that could cause things like this, a gustnado in Pueblo, Colorado. The heart of it, though, again, hitting in Minnesota, where St. Cloud schools, Minneapolis schools closed. Alex Perez right there for us.
Hey, good morning, Ginger. This is what a lot of people here are waking up to this morning. Snow-covered cars. And take a look. Sidewalks and streets are slippery. And we want to show you a second camera, another view. You can see that wind that you were talking about there, that snow blowing in the wind. In a lot of places, since the snow started falling, it hasn't stopped. Overnight, a powerful spring storm bringing blizzard-like conditions and now starting to pummel the Midwest.
If anybody's smart, they won't drive, period.
In South Dakota, winds over 50 miles per hour, creating whiteout conditions. A major interstate shut down for 100 miles. Roads littered with wreck after wreck around Denver. Colorado's governor activating the National Guard to respond to stranded drivers. In Minnesota,
it's slick out there.
Tractor trailers jackknifing the slick conditions leading to these wrecks. Cars creeping down roads in the blinding conditions, barely able to navigate the elements. This bridge collapsing after ice buildup caused the wood pilings to give way. The driver of this UPS semi-truck in Kansas driving right off the overpass. In Montana, this SUV barreling down the road starts sliding, just missing an emergency crewman. And in Idaho, just outside Boise, a small town cut off by rising waters, residents airlifted to safety. In Amarillo, Texas, wind wreaking havoc. Watch as this semi-tractor trailer is just tossed on its side. And Robin, schools are closed here in St. Cloud, in Minneapolis, and in many places across the region. Here is the bad news. As Ginger said, this storm is going to linger in a lot of areas all day.
Yeah,
Robin?
Okay, Alex. And we're seeing the ripple effects of that snow at airports across the country. More than 1,000 flights canceled or delayed since Wednesday. Senior transportation correspondent David Curley is at Reagan National Airport just outside Washington with more. Good morning, David.
Morning, Robin. It's going to be a difficult day for those trying to fly across the country. The first wave of flights just taking off this morning, and already before it started, 400 flights canceled for today. That's on top of the 1,000 flights that were canceled on Wednesday. 3/4 of those were canceled in the Denver area. Of course, the storm has now moved on. The problem area is Minneapolis today. The airport already struggling there. Now, the airlines tell us they're prepared for this storm, but as I mentioned, it is going to be another difficult day if you're hoping to fly, because it does ripple through the entire system. Michael?
Yes, they will feel the ripple effect of that, David. Now let's go back to Ginger with more on where the threat is heading next. Ginger?
Yeah, ready, set, let's track it. That low pressure system impacting Minnesota back to South Dakota still will all the way through 5 p.m. tonight. It goes into northern Michigan and Wisconsin and then starts to loosen. So by tomorrow night, we stop talking about it. But what it leaves behind, still an additional 1 to 2 feet of snow with those 60-mile-per-hour winds. You could see sleet and freezing rain on top of all of this, guys. There's so many components to this. We'll be talking about the severe storms in just a bit. George.
Okay, Ginger, thanks. We're going to move to Washington now, where the White House and Congress, our Democrats, are locked in a battle on two fronts, with the Treasury Department refusing overnight to release the president's tax returns, and Attorney General William Barr, just days before the release of the Mueller report, drawing fire from Democrats for this testimony.
I think spying on a political campaign is a big deal. It's a big deal.
So you're not suggesting, though, that spying occurred?
I don't, I guess you could, I think spying did occur. Yes, I think spying did occur.
Let's bring in our senior congressional correspondent, Mary Bruce, for more on this. And Mary, Barr backtracked later on those comments, but this echoed some of President Trump's more inflammatory talking points.
Yeah, George, for months, the president has been saying that he believes the U.S. government spied on his campaign. And now you have the attorney general there seeming to say that he agrees. Now, Barr did later say that he has seen no specific evidence of wrongdoing, but he says he's assembling a team to look into all of this. George, this is exactly what the president has been demanding, an investigation into the Russian investigation. And Democrats I have talked to are alarmed by Barr's comments. They say he's simply doing the president's bidding here. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi saying that Bill Barr is the attorney general of the United States, not the Attorney General of President Trump. Yeah, and they say much of that investigation has already been done. Meantime, that battle over the president's tax returns, we heard from the Treasury Secretary overnight making it pretty clear they weren't going to comply with that congressional request anytime soon. Yeah, George, it seems more and more likely that this fight is going to be headed towards the courts. Overnight, the Treasury Secretary saying that for now they are not going to be complying with Democrats' demands. He says that he's questioning the legal implications of this request and that it could leave Americans, he says, open to, quote, politically motivated disclosures of their tax information. The president is making clear that he sees no need to turn all of this over. He says that he didn't reveal his tax information last time and he got elected. He says, quote, frankly, the people don't care. But, George, Democrats are not giving up this fight. They're going to double down on this request. Mary Bruce, thanks very much, Robin.
And George, now to that breaking news overnight. The son of a sheriff's deputy is under arrest, accused of starting those fires at 3 historically black churches in Louisiana. Steve Osunsami joins us now with the latest. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning to you, Robin. The governor of Louisiana is making this announcement this morning with the ATF, the state fire marshal, and the FBI by his side. They are calling what happened despicable. A U.S. attorney is confirming this morning that federal authorities have arrested a man for setting black churches on fire in Louisiana. And law enforcement sources tell our local ABC station KATC that he's the son of a parish deputy. Authorities have not yet publicly identified the suspect, but those law enforcement sources say he's this man, 21-year-old Holden Matthews. Matthews is now in custody after he was arrested Wednesday evening. He's accused of intentionally setting those fires at 3 black churches over 10 days. The first, on March 26, burned the St. Mary's Baptist Church to the ground. And within days, a second fire did the same to Greater Union Baptist just miles away, and then a third fire at Mount Pleasant Baptist. At one of the churches, we found burned Bibles and hymn books. The fire marshal immediately suspected they were looking for an arsonist who was targeting black churches.
At this point, we believe there is some relation, whether it's a single person, a single technique, a single method.
As they search for who did this, the people at the 3 churches continued to raise their praise, but had to do it somewhere else. Other churches lent them spaces. Now they say they are relieved and ready to move forward.
It's time to rebuild. It's time for healing. It's time for strengthening of our congregation and our families.
These churches will now need to be completely rebuilt, and they are beginning the effort to raise money for that. George.
Steve Osunsami, thanks very much. We're going to move now to the investigation of that gas explosion in Durham, North Carolina, that killed 1 person, injured 17 others. The blast went off when firefighters were responding to a gas leak. And our chief national affairs correspondent, Tom Yamas, is on the scene in Durham with the latest. Good morning, Tom.
George, good morning to you. Take a look just behind me. This was a 2-story building in the middle of Durham, North Carolina, a building that was made of bricks. But this explosion was so powerful, it pancaked the entire structure, shooting brick and glass everywhere. 5 other buildings also affected. Now, eyewitnesses say it felt like an earthquake. First the blast and then a massive blaze. Survivors running from the area covered in blood, some unable to walk. This all started with a gas leak. Firefighters were on the scene evacuating buildings, but there apparently wasn't enough time to get everyone out. The owner of the beloved coffee shop that was on the lower level of the building that collapsed ended up dying in the blast. The store posting on Facebook they would be closed. They put that post up just 2 minutes before the explosion. 17 others were injured, 6 in critical condition, including a firefighter who had to undergo surgery. His family tells us he's out of surgery and recovering tonight. The blast was so powerful, a bridge cam in this area actually felt the impact and recorded the sound. Eyewitnesses tell us it felt like an earthquake, but it sounded like a plane crash, George.
And Tom, what have officials learned about what caused this?
Well, city officials right now say they're still investigating, but preliminary reports say there was a construction crew in the area. They were digging under the sidewalk. They hit a natural gas line, and then, George, just 30 minutes later, that happened.
Tom Yamas, thanks very much, Michael.
All right, thank you, George. Also breaking overnight, an American Airlines flight departing from New York's Kennedy Airport forced to make an emergency landing after striking an object during takeoff. And you can take a look at this picture. It's taken by one of the passengers, and it shows the damage to the plane's wing. One of the passengers said the plane went sideways in the air before the pilot could straighten it out. The FAA is investigating the incident, and fortunately, none of the 109 passengers and crew members on board were hurt. And we're going to turn now to a stunning breakthrough as astronomers captured the first ever image of a black hole. It's one of the most mysterious objects in the universe, and Matt Gutman is in Los Angeles with the discovery made 55 million light years away. Good morning, Matt.
Far, far away. Good morning, Michael. Scientists have theorized for over a century that black holes have existed, but it wasn't until this team figured out a way to see the unseeable, because black holes trap all light, that we got this iconic glimpse of the most destructive force in the universe. It's arguably the most famous donut hole of all time. That first image of a black hole.
I never believed that this black hole was as big as people said, until we saw that.
M87 is over 50 million light years away, and that donut is 20 billion miles across. And getting that snapshot wasn't easy. The hunt for that incredible snapshot chronicled on the Smithsonian Channel.
After more than 10 years of planning, $50 million, and the combined brain power of over 200 international scientists.
What we see isn't actually the black hole, where gravity is so powerful it can suck in galaxies and traps all light. What you're seeing is the ring of superheated gas around it.
We now know that a black hole that weighs 6.5 billion times what our sun does exists in the center of M87. And this is the strongest evidence that we have to date for the existence of black holes.
And since Albert Einstein theorized it over 100 years ago, black holes have been the source of human fascination, the source of songs.
Black hole sun.
The black hole is pulling us in. Plenty of B-grade movies.
It is the one true force of absolute power.
And apparently the obsession of bad guys everywhere. The Discovery team believes the image will be as iconic as the Earthrise, that unforgettable shot of Earth from space.
Everything will be different from now on going forward because of the fact that we saw the most energetic part of the universe.
So how do you see the unseeable? Well, with an Earth-sized telescope, those scientists linked together basically 8 giant radio telescopes across the globe that kind of look like those dishes behind me, but the weather had to be just right at all of those locations for the images to work, which is why they only got off one good series in 2017. The scientists say they are going to try again with even more telescopes. Michael.
Matt, the image really is amazing, but there's a young woman, Katie Bowman, who is critical to this effort.
Yeah, Katie Bowman was an MIT grad student who developed the algorithm that crunched down a galaxy's worth of data into that single iconic image. Oh, and Michael, she's only 29 years old.
Whew. Makes me realize I'm a failure. Thank you so much, Matt.
What a scientific feat.
It really is. It really, really is. Also this morning, we have that incredible survival story, how rescue crews found these hikers lost nearly 5 days, and the special tool they used to survive.
We also have some body cam footage now released. It shows police responding to a burglar hiding in a bathroom. We'll tell you what they found first. Ginger's right here.
And just because the storm pulls away doesn't mean the issues are over. Look at this video. This is Highway 34 that a boat is going over in Corvallis, Oregon. Just to let you know that flash flooding and severe storms possible from Illinois back through parts of Iowa. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First, the Snowy City, sponsored by ADP.
I'm working to keep the fire going for another 150 years.
To inspire confidence through style.
I'm working to make connections of a different kind.
I'm working for beauty that begins with nature.
To treat every car like I treat mine.
At ADP, we're designing a better way to work so you can achieve what you're working for.
breezy sunshine on this Thursday. Temperatures are starting out a little cool, so you're going to need the jacket. Sunglasses, you'll be able to use those up until about the late afternoon hours. 64 degrees by 4 o'clock today, then 61 at 7. Will turn mostly cloudy. And while tomorrow's going to be mostly overcast and mainly dry, rain during the late afternoon and evening hours. Temperatures will be in the mid-70s and mid-70s too this weekend. Most of your showers on and off on Sunday.
We'll be back with more on this thankful Thursday. Happy Friday Eve.
Thanks for calling United Healthcare, Mrs. Murphy.
Hi, I need help getting an appointment with my podiatrist.
How's Wednesday at 2?
I can't. Dog agility.
Thursday at